Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I will be doing this pink holiday glam. So if you want to see how I got this look, then please just keep watching. I'm just gonna bring it down on my eyelid just to go ahead and prime it for my my eyeshadow. And then before that creases, I'm gonna go ahead and set it with my Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Honey Setting Powder. I like to set my concealer with setting powder because it makes it easier to blend out the eyeshadow shades, and it helps to keep it from creasing. I'm gonna start off with my Anastasia Soft Glam eyeshadow palette, and I'm gonna take the shade Sienna and just go above the crease and use this as my transition shade. They're using some pretty bold pinks, so you need something to help transition that into my skin. Now I'm gonna go into my Colored Rain Vivid Pigments palette and take the shade Party Drip, this pink shade right here, and just go in the crease. And you might want to go light-handed because it is a very pigmented shade, so it's better to just start off light and then build it instead of just going in with all that color. And just go in the crease and do windshield wiper motions until you get it to how you want it to look. You can also just pack the color and then blend it out. I'm gonna take a smaller brush to get into the inner third of my eye. And the brushes that I'm using, the first brush I used for the transition shade was a Morphe 573 brush. And then the brush that I'm using with this pink shade is a Morphe 441. And also just a e.l.f. crease brush. You just keep building the eyeshadow until you get it to the intensity that you want. It's okay if you spend like 15 minutes blending. You want it to look right. You don't want to be half-assed and just rush through it. So just keep blending until you get it to where you want it, even if you have to go between the transition shade and this pink shade, because you don't want it to look too harsh. I'm just going back with that Sienna shade and just blending out the edges a little bit. Now I'm going to take my Morphe M518 brush and I'm going to go into my Anastasia Riviera palette and I'm going to take the shade Bahamas, this shade right here, and just go directly over that first pink shade that I used. And the same thing, don't go too heavy-handed. Just go in lightly and then build it up. And now I'm just going to start bringing that shade down to my outer V. And now I'm just going to pack it on. And then gently, with very light hand, blend it out. And then do the same thing to the inner corner. I'm going to switch to the Morphe M139 brush. I'm going to take the shade Palermo out of that Riviera palette and just go over the center of my eye. I'm gonna take my Smashbox primer water just to wet the brush a little bit. Yeah, that makes a big difference. Okay, now that I've added that shade, I'm gonna add one more shade from the Norvina palette from Anastasia, and it's called Wild Child. It's the shade right here. So I'm just gonna go back into that Wild Child shade out of the Norvina palette, and then just go over the entire lid area. Lightly, not heavy-handedly. Go over it lightly just to get that sheen from it. And then go back into that shade from the Riviera palette and then go over it again. Just to tone it down a little bit because it's a little bright for me. And then go back into that pink shade from the Colored Rain palette and just blend those two shades together. So that's it for the eyes for now. I'm gonna come back after I do my base. So for my primer, I am actually going to use a mixture of two primers. I'm gonna use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer and the Smashbox Photo Finish Minimize Pores Primer. I like this primer because it's moisturizing. I mean, it's called primerizer, so it's a combination of a moisturizer and a primer. And I like to use this before I use my actual primer, just because it is colder out and my skin tends to get drier in the colder months. But now I'm gonna go in with my Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer. And I just typically use that in my T-zone area, just because that's where the pores tend to be the biggest. For foundation, I think I'm gonna stick to drugstore. So I think I'm gonna use my Maybelline Superstay Foundation. And mine is in the shade 355 Coconut. I'm just gonna take that on the back of my hand just to warm it up. Actually, I'm just gonna take my finger, it's better than that. And I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and blend that out. This is a pretty full coverage foundation, but because I have a lot of dark marks, I like to just go in with an extra layer. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just on the areas where I know I need it. All right, next is concealer. I believe I'm just going to use my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Chestnut. Now before that dries, I like to immediately go in and set my under eye before it creases. And I'm going to use that Fenty Beauty Pro Filter setting powder in the shade Honey again. So the camera cut off because I got a phone call, but I just put that same powder everywhere I put the concealer. So I'm just gonna dust away the excess powder and then blend in up under the eye. I'm gonna use my Maybelline Fit Me face powder in the shade 355 Coconut to dust away the excess. So I'm not liking the way it came out, so I'm just gonna try to dust away the excess. Okay, now that that's dusted away, I am going to contour. And I am going to contour with my Black Radiance True Complexion contour palette. In the shade, I got a new one, and I grabbed the wrong one. I grabbed the dark to deep. I normally get the medium to dark, but I'm gonna try the dark to deep. I'm gonna try that middle shade as a contour shade. I'm gonna try this shade as a contour shade. I'm gonna see how that goes. Oh, that brush that I used to dust away that powder was a MAC 109 brush. And the brush that I'm gonna use to contour is just an e.l.f. complexion brush. So now I'm just gonna go back into that Maybelline Fit Me face powder and just go all over. So now I'm just gonna bronze my face with my Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in Mahogany. And now I'm gonna use my NARS Orgasm blush. So now back to the eyes, I'm just going to do my wing liner. I'm going to use my NYX Professional Makeup Vinyl Liquid Liner. Just do a simple wing. Now I'm going to spray my face with some Smashbox Primer Water just to get rid of that dry look. Alright, so I got my lashes on. The lashes that I used are the, what are they called? Curly Queen by Eylure and Jasmine Brown collab. So now I'm just gonna spray my face again, but I'm gonna use the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. And now I'm just gonna do my highlights. Which one do I wanna use? I'm gonna try this highlighter out of this True Radiance, no, Black Radiance True Complexion palette that I used. The dogs are play fighting. They literally do it all day long. Get up, play fight, take a nap. Get up, play fight, take a nap. It's annoying to listen to, but it's so cute to look at. So I just adopted a new dog from the shelter a couple weeks ago. And she's like just now starting to open up. I mean, she was opening up before, but now she's like, you can really see her personality, and she's just the cutest dog ever. She's 2 years old, she's a pit bull, and I am completely in love with her already. So now we have 2 dogs and 2 cats in the house. But technically, this dog is my dog. The other dog is my brother's dog. I say we share her because they live here, but this dog is my dog. So I wanted a dog for a very long time. And now I have the perfect dog. Adopt, don't shop. Save a life. Go to the shelter and adopt a dog or a cat. I have 2 cats, so I'm a cat person and a dog person. Just gonna take this Morphe brush. This is a Morphe E36. I'm just gonna go on the lower lash line. Hopefully I don't go out of frame. I always go out of frame when I do this. So now I'm gonna do mascara. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I am going to put a shimmery shade in my inner teardrop. Yeah, I think I want to. So I'm gonna go back into the Norvina palette and use that Wild Child shade and put that in my inner corner. And I'm gonna fill them in too. And then I'm gonna go with my soft lilac from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And then I'm gonna go with my NARS from Color Rain. And then I'm gonna go with BFF3 by ColourPop and just go ever so lightly around the outside. So that is it for this look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please comment down below, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.